What is up, Roadrunners? We're here with another episode of the Coach's Corner. We're here at the Tivoli Tap House where they have great food and, of course, great beer. I'm here with Kendall Mcintosh, who is a senior for the men's basketball. Thanks for being here.
Oh,
How are you feeling?
Oh, I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good. Had a
Yeah?
great day today. Got my lifts in. I'm feeling good.
So you played 3 years here at MSU Denver, and now you're about to interview your, let's say, the players and coaches for basketball. How does that feel? How did you find the Coach's Corner?
Well, honestly, I got this opportunity through my internship with John Kintzman and his crew. And I talked to them in the office and decided, why not be on the Coach's Corner?
Of course, it's super fun.
Yeah, definitely.
You're excited? Nervous?
Oh, yeah. I'm a little nervous, but, I'm always ready for the lights.
Right. So can you tell the audience who's going to be on the show today?
Oh, yeah, no problem. As we all know, you guys love our softball team, so we'll have head coach Annie Van Wetzinga on here. She'll tell us about how their road trip went up against Regis this weekend. We'll have also Janice Christopher on here. She is the head coach for the track and field, and she'll tell us about how their indoor RMAC championship went, and also what they have in store for us during the outdoor season. And last but not least, we'll have Ethan Loper on here from the men's track and field team. And he'll get a chance to let us know a little bit about him. He's a Colorado native from Parker, so we're excited to have him.
So with you and Coach Van, it already sounds like we're going to have a lot of personality, and we're going to have a blast today, so that's good. So before we bring in our first guest, we're going to tell you what happened this past weekend at Roadrunner Sports. The softball team had an amazing weekend at Regis University. Coach Van's squad swept the 4-game series with Regis and New Mexico Highlands. It was capped off by a 14-0 win in the finale over the Rangers. The Roadrunners' Lainey Shepard piled up 5 RBIs while Darby McKee gave up just 2 hits all game. The squad is now 10-2 in RMAC play and are sitting in a tie for first place.
The baseball team was also on the road this past weekend. They headed south to Pueblo and took on the Timberwolves. They would split their 4-game series, which included a 2-1 win in the final. And Cade Grader was sensational on the mound, going the full 9 innings, giving up one earned run on just 3 hits. Coach Strand's squad is 2-2 to start off the RMAC season.
Our golf team competed in the Tom Tierney Pioneer Shootout last week. The Roadrunners were led by Jennifer Hankins, who finished 9th overall, shooting 6 over 150 in the Alameda, California course. The squad would finish 14th overall with a 2-day total of 660.
The women's basketball team took on top-seeded Colorado Mesa in the first round of the RMAC tournament, but the Mavericks were too tough in the fourth quarter, taking down the Roadrunners 60-46. Leah Harvey led the way, scoring 12 points while pulling down 6 rebounds. The season comes to an end for Coach Harvey's squad, but we're already excited for the returners coming back next season.
Now for some tennis, that the men's and women's team ventured to Wichita, Texas for some matches. The men couldn't come away with the win in 3 series against top 20 opponents, but the women were able to come away with 1 win against Cameron University. They defeated the Aggies 4-2, getting singles wins from Brooklyn Ross, Tabitha Porter, Helena Steinberg, and from Ainsley Winterroad. So now we welcome in Janis Christopher, who is the head coach for the track and field. It's always a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
How are you doing? How's everything?
Doing well.
Yeah?
Doing well, yeah.
Good. So we're going to talk about the RMAC championships. So day one, and it was the sprinters who did great. Can you talk about the 3 runners you had that qualified for the finals in the 60 meters?
Sure, yeah. We had 3 runners qualify, Michael DK, Nicholas Polite, and Blaze Holland. And of those 3, the only one that was actually ranked and that should have made the final, that was almost guaranteed a spot, was Michael DK. So Nick and Blaze really jumped up in their original rankings that they came in the standings and were able to be in the top 8, which qualified for them for that final. So just really kudos to their hard work, and then also we work with Coach Jamal, the strength and conditioning coach, works with them on their technique as well. So he's done a really great job preparing them for that short race.
Good.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
We also saw it in the finals of the 60 meters that the trio would finish 4th and 6th and 8th. The Blaze would run a personal best in the event. Tell us how they did in the finals.
Really well, actually. I mean, you really can't. There's a lot of good runners, really a lot of fast runners, and especially when you're talking about UCCS and even Western State, they've got some really great sprint squads. And so for us to be able to sneak in and grab those final spots, and then actually, to get our day started with that many points was super helpful. I think we were that event with our 3 qualifiers. The only other event that had 3 qualifiers from one school was the 200 meters, and that was UCCS that did that. So not traditionally somebody that in the conference people would think we would have that many qualifiers. So those guys did a great job, raced hard. It's over in the blink of an eye. So they just executed the way that Jamal asked them to and scored us some points.
Definitely kudos to them, definitely. When your trio line up for the finals, they did line up right next to each other. If so, it's helpful to have a teammate line up right next to you. How does that feel? Having your brother lined up next to you or your guy.
You'd have to ask them that. I think that there's a little bit of maybe a little bit of extra pressure there, right? So because they're competing against each other like every day at practice,
right.
like really, sometimes I have to tell them to like stop competing with one another.
Just chill out a little
get
bit.
your work done. So I feel like there's probably a little bit of added pressure there for them. They're really trying to beat each other day to day. They know exactly what to expect from that person next to you. So there's a little bit of pressure, but I think probably nice to know that all 3 of them were in the final, that they were going to score some points, and I know that they were really proud of that fact.
Yeah. I think it's always good too to definitely have guys on the team or women on the team that's going to support each other, and definitely push each other every day throughout practice. So
absolutely,
that's good that you guys have a good group in that.
So sticking with the sprints, we saw solid performances from Said Moreno and how you talked about Blaze Holland. How did they perform in the championship stage?
So, I mean, Said, unfortunately, in the prelim, he qualified third. He was the 3rd fastest time going into the final of the 400. And unfortunately, in that prelim, he injured his hamstring a little bit. So we were pretty nervous about the final for him. You could tell it wasn't quite 100%. And so whenever he got through the finish line, I mean, to have him finish in, I believe he was 7th, that was, to beat somebody even whenever you're hurt, I think is important. So, he was a little disappointed, and
right.
we had hoped that he'd be able to maybe, be the top 3 and make a podium as a senior. So, it was a little sad, I think.
Yeah.
With Blaze, he just outperformed himself in every way that weekend. In the 200 meters, he was not ranked again to be a finalist, and to be able to sneak in the 200 meters and be able to get that 8th spot, and then it ultimately finished 7th and scored even more points for us. So they did a great job. They have a lot of heart, and they want to represent the Roadrunners in the best way possible. And I think that they go out and they do that every day.
It's amazing how he was hurt from his hamstring, and he ended up in 3rd place. That's great.
Yeah. There's a little bit of maybe you push a little too hard in that prelim, but I'm never gonna. Said's not a guy that's gonna back down ever. So he's gonna go 110% every time, and to ask him to do anything less than that is, it would be insulting to him to do that, right? So I would never ask him to back down. So that's just him and his heart, and how much he wants to
shows the passion of the sport.
Absolutely, yes.
That's great. The surprise of the day came from Brandon Bonner, though, in the 800 meters. Despite him supposed to be 12th seed, he placed actually 5th seed. So how does that feel, knowing that he was supposed to start at 12, but ended up pulling all the way up to 5th seed?
Yeah, I mean, the rankings are just based on time. And so whenever you get to the conference championships, you've got to compete. You've got to go out there and you've got to compete. And, Brandon Bodner is really similar to Said Moreno in that, he's going to give 110% every time he steps out on the track.
Right.
And so he entered with his seed in the, it would be the 2nd to the fastest heat, and was able to he just got a great race plan from Coach Lara. He went out there and executed it perfectly. He won his heat, and that time that he ran by executing got him to that 5th place finish. So, to do that just based on time, he didn't know how fast those guys were going to be. So to do that was huge. So Brandon's just a fighter, very, very happy for him.
Yeah, definitely great for him.
So were there any other standouts to you? What did you learn from your squad after watching them perform in the championships?
Yeah, so we ended with our 4x4, and without Syed Moreno running the relay, it was a little bit hard for us. We had gone in ranked first and should have by all means been able to walk away with the title. But without our leader, without our heart, it was a little bit hard. So unfortunately, we're a little disappointed with that. But whenever you're able to look back on it, everybody who stepped on the track improved their time, and you cannot ask for more than that from your team. Our individuals went out and did the best they could, scoring more points before we even ran the relay than we had in the prior 3 seasons. And so, really, really pleased with the progress we've made and excited to see what comes next.
Yes, definitely.
So we're going to have Ethan Loper who here on the show later. Can you talk about his sophomore year, how it's going, where did you find him?
So Ethan actually spent his freshman year at CSU Pueblo, and he didn't compete in the spring semester. He decided he was going to transfer, and so he left the CSU Pueblo team and was able to transfer in for us. Knew he was fast in the 200, felt that he probably had some potential in that 400, and so whenever I spoke with him about coming up, I made clear that what I was looking for was for him to make a move in that 400 meters, and he has come in and committed everything to becoming a road runner, and has fought for that spot on the 4x4, and you really can't ask for more whenever you have a transfer come in, to have them just really commit and become a road runner 110% right away. So very pleased. We love having Ethan on the team, and he's a great teammate.
Yeah.
Good.
So guess what time it is?
It's trivia time.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
So you are currently in 6th place with 6 points. So we're going to give you a chance to catch up.
Okay.
So here is your question. With the outdoor season coming up soon, we wondered how many roadrunners have won RMAC Outdoor Championships. There have been 8 RMAC Outdoor Championship winners combined for the men's and the women's side. So we're going to give you a point for each person you can name, and you have 30 seconds until Eric tells you. So are you ready?
Sure.
He's going to start. Whenever you're ready.
2, 1.
Brianna Hemming. Anthony Luna. We've got Robert Carlson. I can't think. I mean, some of those are definitely before my time, or I was a coach. So that's all I got.
I wish I could.
Right? You got 3. That gives her how much? 9 points?
9 points.
And what plate? Tie for second.
Okay.
Wow.
Who were the others?
It's Derek
Fiorini.
Yeah.
Danielle.
Oh, and Darius Reed.
Bryce Young. Kirk Harvey. And Darius Reed.
Yeah, I actually knew all those.
Really? You just should have started.
That's why I wanted to give you a little hint, but I didn't want to cheat.
Well, Coach, thanks for coming on. It was a great
pleasure.
time having you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
And good luck for the outdoor season.
Thank you.
Yeah. So we got to step aside, but stay close because we're excited for some softball here at the Coach's Corner.
Family-owned Argonaut Wine and Liquor is Colorado's largest superstore. A fixture of Denver for over 45 years, Argonaut has always been the go-to place for liquor, wine, and beer. Whatever you need for that special occasion, big party, or quiet night, Argonaut has it. It's one-stop shopping for all of your beverage needs. We have over 40,000 square feet of space and more than 15,000 items. That's the largest selection in town at the best prices. Plus, we deliver, and parking is free. Join our preferred shopper program to save even more. ArgonautLiquor.com, your liquor superstore for every occasion.
I'm Darby McGee, senior pitcher for the softball team.
And gets the strikeout on some high fastball stuff coming in quick.
And you're watching the Coach's Corner. Get rowdy.
Welcome back to the Coach's Corners. But before we talk to Coach Van, you guys are running out of time to sign up for that amazing Tap House giveaway. If you are 21 or older and you have an email address, then that's all you need to try and win a 2-night stay at the Ritz-Carlton Bachelor Gulch in Beaver Creek. Visit TivoliBrewingCo.com, click on the Promotions tab, put in your info, and you are all set to try and win the incredible getaway sponsored by our friends here at the Tivoli Tap House. So don't delay, sign up today. So now we welcome in Annie Van Wetzinga to the show. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you guys?
Good.
Awesome.
So you said on the show a few weeks ago that you didn't care about being average. So after a great weekend,
I don't care to be average. I
Yeah.
care about it if I am average.
Yeah, but
I don't care a
okay,
lot.
okay.
I don't care to be average.
to be average.
I feel you, Coach. Okay.
All right.
So after a great weekend, your squad is sitting in a tie for first place. How does that sit with you?
Better than average.
Yeah.
Definitely.
They're doing well. It's good. Things are coming along. They're playing. Most importantly, they're playing hard. They're playing together. They're having fun. Kind of all the things we ask that we think are controllable. We think we can bring those things to the field. You know, we believe that more times than not, we're going to be happy with the results.
Yeah.
So I really love where they're at, and it's been fun watching them grow so far during the season.
Playing together.
That's great. That's great. As you mentioned, you was proud of your team's performance last week, mostly because everybody contributed.
Yeah.
You also let us know that you were excited to see success come from every aspect of the sport.
Yeah.
So talk to me about that. Just let me know how you see that.
Yeah, we have, like you said, we have success coming from lots of different players, a lot of different people stepping up, and honestly, that was the case again this past weekend. We had girls up and down the lineup getting hits, contributing. We had, even our pinch hitters, people that we put in the game, they came in, did some nice things. Pitching, day 2, didn't give up a run. So yeah, it's just, it's all cliche a little bit, but it has been a total team effort. Different girls with different roles coming in, they're ready to play, whether they start or not. And so it's exciting to see where our team's at, what they're doing. They're fighting for one another, which is exciting.
That's lovely. That's lovely.
So your pitching was impressive. In 24 total innings of work, your squad gave up 5 earned runs and 11 base hits. You guys had 14 runs and 14 hits in a game 4 alone. So how is your pitching so effective this weekend?
Why was it so effective?
Yeah.
Well, they're good, you know.
Did you guys practice a lot in it? Or
We
what?
practice a lot during the year. We practice pitching, hitting spots. We have good experience too. Like our starters on day 2 were Darby, senior, done a lot of innings, and Destiny, who's a junior, and she's been in lots of different situations also. So we liked how they attacked. They gave up some walks, but I think what was really nice is they were able to reset and not let those walks hurt them. So they pitched really well, and especially when there was runners on base.
That's good.
That's good, yeah. Lainey Shepard, which seems to be a key part of you guys' team, she is killing opposing pitchers.
Yes.
So on the season, she has 8 home runs and 41 RBI. Excuse me. Do you continue to be amazed by what she's doing as young as she is?
I mean, she's having an awesome year. You know, you can't say enough about. You're right. She's like a huge part of our offense, and she's had some huge hits and timely moments. Amazed. I don't know if I'd say that because I believe in what she can do. You know, I know she's talented. I know what she's capable of. I actually think she's capable of even more. She can continue to get better, and she knows that. And what's nice is she's someone, she comes and works hard, and so not amazed, but definitely happy. And she's having a great year, and hopefully she can just kind of keep it up and keep doing her thing.
As a coach, does it give you comfort knowing that you're going to get what you're going to get out of her?
Yeah. Like she might have a game. Maybe she strikes out her first at bat.
Right.
Like she had that first at bat, game 1 this weekend. But is it worry or panic? No, because I think this year she's shown a lot of maturity of being able to make adjustments, bounce back, and be able to have good at-bats. So I think that's what gives real comfort also is like her maturity level and how to make adjustments and understanding her swing.
Especially as a sophomore. That's big time.
It is. Like she's doing great things as a sophomore, so it's exciting.
Great.
So the last few weeks, we've seen Addie Valdez play over at the second base after playing most of the 2019 in left field. What made you move her around, and has she ever played in that spot before? Or
so the way we recruit, a lot of times we recruit athletes, people with versatility, and Audie was one of those people.
Okay.
Like she did a lot of infield before coming here. Last year we thought the best fit, just where we're at. Let's put her in the outfield. She actually was playing an awesome, amazing outfield.
Yeah.
It was actually tough to bring her in to make that decision because of what she was doing.
Yeah.
But we wanted a little bit more energy and experience. Like Audie's our energizer buddy, you know, like she gets after it. You ever watch Cheer on Netflix? You know that? You guys got to watch it.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't.
People watch that back home. Anyways, you watch cheer, you'll know Jerry. He's the heart and soul of that team. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Audie's like the heart and soul energizer bunny of our team. So we wanted a little bit of that in the infield, and she's brought it, and that's been awesome.
Great.
It's been big for us.
That's good. That's good.
So coming up this weekend, you're going to host Chadron State for 4-game series.
Yep.
And then on Friday, you're going to be striking out Cancer for the doubleheader.
Yeah, on Saturday.
For Saturday.
Yep.
For those who haven't been a part of this event, can you give us some details about what's in store and how they can be a part of it?
Yeah, so Strikeout Cancer game, us and baseball do it jointly. It started now about 7-8 years ago. We softball team had a player, Aubrey Mall, diagnosed with ovarian cancer. Luckily, she beat it, came back, was able to finish her career. I know, exactly. Finished her career. Ever since then, we've had a teal game, which is the ovarian color, so that's why the teal color comes into play. But now we've kind of shifted it to just general cancer. This year we are supporting pediatric cancer. The Morgan Adams Foundation, which is a Denver-based organization, they help fund in childhood pediatric cancer. So that's kind of where we're putting funds. Every strikeout that a softball and baseball Roadrunner pitcher throws that day, $5 is donated to their organization.
Good. That's
good.
cool.
That's great.
So, Coach, it's always a blast having you on the show, and we wish you great luck in Chadron State Series this weekend.
Awesome. Thanks, you guys.
No problem,
Have a good one.
Coach.
Yeah.
So before we take another break, stay close because we're going to have Ethan Loper from the track and field team, so don't go anywhere.
Enough. Yeah, I'm over it.
We shouldn't need commercials to tell you we're powerful.
No thanks. Genders don't play sports. Athletes do.
Hi, I'm Jessie Chappa from the track and field team, and you're watching the Coach's Corner. Get rowdy!
So now we have one more segment to go in. We're happy to bring on redshirt freshman Ethan Loper from the track and field team. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Is this your first time here?
It is, yes.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna have a good time.
I appreciate it.
So you're a local kid from Parker, Colorado.
Yeah.
And spent time at CSU Pueblo. Can you tell us how you ended up here at MSU Denver?
Yeah, so my freshman year I was at Pueblo. I was running track there as well. And then I just kind of wasn't really enjoying my experience there. Yeah, I wasn't really feeling it. And so then I kind of looked into different schools to transfer to. And Coach Janice was one of the first people to reach out to me. And so I came and visited the campus, kind of talked with her. And obviously, this is a great campus. It's downtown. It's sweet. Once I met a lot of my teammates, I really enjoyed them, kind of the personalities they were. So I was pretty sold on it from there, and so we made it happen, and then now I'm here.
Nice.
Ooh, yeah.
Well, good thing you transferred.
Appreciate it.
Definitely. Hey man, this is a question I get all the time, and I kind of hate so don't get mad when I ask you.
Right,
but how tall are you, bro?
I am 6'3", and depending on what shoes I wear, I can get up to 6'4", I guess.
Hey, okay, so for a sprinter, is that pretty tall?
Yeah, it's pretty tall. Most of the time, you'll get a lot of dudes that are shorter. You can see it, especially with a couple guys on our team. We have a couple taller guys. Me. DK, he's up there too. Michael, Blaze is a little bit up there, and then we got some shorter guys as well. But I mean, the taller guys are pretty fast. I mean, Usain Bolt's got that record. So.
Oh yeah.
Can you tell us how you got into sprinting? Why didn't you get into the distance running?
I honestly couldn't tell you. I wasn't even running track till my sophomore year of high school. I just kind of did it as like a last-minute thing instead of playing basketball. I played basketball like my whole life, and then decided to switch to track for some reason. And my coaches could not figure out what I was good at because I wasn't really good at a lot of things. So they tried me jumping, they tried me, distance, all this stuff. And then once I got into sprinting, they realized I actually kind of half decent at it. So they kept me in that, and I've just kind of been getting better at that. But anything over 400, I do not like to run, and my body does not like to run. So I try to keep it as short as possible.
I'm with you.
And now you're playing college.
Yeah.
Now you're doing college. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's dope.
Well, that's good. So what sprint events do you compete in? Do you have a favorite one?
I run the 2 and the 4 and the relays as well. I'd like to say the 2 is probably my favorite because that's the shortest thing I run. I get it over the fastest. But I mean, the 4 is not bad as well. It's just I don't really like it afterwards.
It hurts.
Yeah.
Cool. Hey, man, I heard you say you played basketball, man.
I did for a little, yeah. I played for a long time.
Yeah?
Yeah. It was the height, It made it.
Nah. I feel you got the height.
I had the hoop dreams,
Do you dunk?
I can, yeah.
Yeah? Can you dunk?
I hope so.
I wonder who can do the best dunk.
Yeah. He might have me. I'm a little retired now. I stick to local rec ball. But
that's what's up, man.
Yeah.
Do you have any siblings that also athletics too or anything?
I got 2 little sisters. They're 9 and 10, so they're a little young.
Oh, cool.
But they, the older one is running like land sharks. She's doing a little running, and then she plays volleyball as well.
Oh.
She's real tall, so she's gonna be doing that. And then the other one's doing archery right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so she's doing something interesting. But they're I'd say they're pretty athletic as well. They're gonna be special.
All right. Well, I don't want to put a little bar between you and your siblings, but who's the most athletic?
Oh, me by far.
By far?
And the most favorite? No, just kidding.
Me by far still.
I feel you. Yeah. Yes, sir.
So you work closely with Coach Christopher as she deals mostly with the sprinters. Tell us what she's like in practice and at the meets.
She's definitely a good coach to be around. She's super supportive of all the athletes. She makes you feel like a person and not just an athlete, So it's nice to be around her. She can calm you down if you're feeling stressed out. You can talk to her about a lot of things.
It's great to have.
So I definitely appreciate having her around. So it's super easy with her. She's super supportive. You never feel like down on yourself. She'll be right there to support you, but she's gonna make sure you work too. So it's definitely a good combination.
See, those coaches are the best.
Most definitely, yeah.
I know before games and stuff, I always got certain stuff going through my mind. So I wanted to get in your head a little bit and see, when you stepping up to the line, what goes through your head? What's going through your mind?
Track is weird, man, because depending on how long I'm sitting around, I'll be thinking a lot, especially warming up, getting ready to run. It's always, making sure you're performing to your best, going over, through your step, what you got to do to prepare for your race, how you're going to execute your race. But as soon as you get to the line, for me at least, my mind goes blank, and I don't think. So I don't know if I'm just lucky, but I feel like that's a lot of people. It's a lot beforehand that stresses you out for sure, but once you get on the track and you're ready to run, you can't be thinking about much. You just kind of go.
I feel you, man.
Yeah.
Mind gotta go blank.
Yeah. Once you get to the zone, your mind just goes blank, and you just do your thing.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Definitely.
So the outdoor season is just around the corner. Are you competing this spring? And if so, what events?
I am, yeah. So I redshirted last year, so this is going to be my first year eligible outdoor. So I'll probably be in the 200, 400, and then some relays as well. We'll see how that goes. It's always a competition, but I'm gonna make sure I get my spot and get mine. So
yes, sir. That's
we're
right.
just gonna work hard, but most definitely the 2 and the 400. So similar to indoor.
So what would you say you prefer better, indoor or outdoor?
Outdoor by far.
Outdoor?
Outdoor by far. Indoor those tracks are typically smaller, so for big bodies like me, long legs like me, it's hard to run on those. So.
But what if it's when it's super, super hot, like outside, that you can't breathe?
I'll take it. Yeah, I don't.
Wow.
I'm not really upset with hot weather. We've been having great weather recently.
I know, right?
So yeah.
I'm not with the cold.
So I'd rather take outdoor if it's some nice weather any day. Most definitely.
Good. That's cool.
Cool.
So thanks for coming into the show. We wish you the best of luck for the rest of the season.
Appreciate
Good luck with everything, and we hope to see you here again.
Most definitely. I'll try to get back on here.
So good, man. Nice having you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, it's good to have you too.
Thank you guys.
So before we call it a show, let's tell you what's taking place this weekend in Road Runner Sports. So Coach Van's squad will be back home at the Regency Athletic Complex this weekend, hosting Chadron State for a 4-game series. Game 1 will take place this Saturday at noon. The baseball team will also be home and will host New Mexico Highlands. That will kick off on Friday at 3 p.m. Coach Strain's squad will also be honoring Cancer Awareness Day, so make sure you wear the teal on Saturday. You can catch all the action on Roadrunners TV all weekend long. And it's that time to announce the Student Athlete of the Week. This week's winner is once again Lainey Shepard, who continues to rack up those stats. This weekend, the sophomore went 6 for 9, hit her 8th home run, and drove in 10 RBIs. She leads the RMAC in RBIs with 41. Great job, Lainey. So that's going to be it for today's Coach's Corner show. We want to thank Coach Christopher, Coach Van, and of course Ethan for coming into the show today. And a big thanks to Kendall, who is new to the show. You're going to be seeing him more often. So.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Much more smoother, y'all. I got you.
Yes. So I'm Brenda Vazquez. We'll see you next time on the Coach's Corner.